Hello leaders and future leaders, this is retired Sergeant First Class Beitz. In this video, we will discuss the clear distinctions between Army Ranger School and the Army Ranger Assessment and Selection Program, also known as RASP. Once we've identified the differences, we will briefly delve into what to expect in each of the courses. I have already covered Army Ranger School extensively in a previous video on my channel, which will be tagged above and linked below. I'm currently working on a dedicated video solely on RASP, which will be posted soon. Let me start by reading you a statement from Sergeant First Class Colclaw, the non-commissioned officer in charge of the 75th Ranger Regiment Recruiting Detachment at the time. We believe a lot of soldiers are hesitant to volunteer for RASP because they are misinformed about what RASP is and what the Ranger Regiment does. We are constantly being confused for Ranger School, and we take every chance we can get to push the word out that we are not Ranger School. End of quote. With that being said, we will clarify the difference between Ranger School and RASP and discuss the 75th Ranger Regiment. Ranger School. In the simplest form, Ranger School is just that, a school, a place you go to learn. The Army has countless specialized schools to help soldiers advance in their careers and evolve. The most popular or well-known schools are likely to be those that produce a badge or a tab like Ranger School. Upon successful completion of Ranger School, you earn the Ranger tab, which indicates that you have been to and passed this course. Once you have completed Ranger School, you will then return to your assigned unit, not the 75th Ranger Regiment. Ranger Assessment and Selection Program. Again, in the simplest form, to become an Army Ranger, you must attend and successfully complete the Ranger Assessment and Selection Program. Once you have completed RASP, you will then be assigned to the 75th Ranger Regiment, where you will wear the tan beret and Ranger scroll. So, upon completing Ranger School, you get your Ranger tab, report back to your assigned unit, and continue with your primary MOS. Upon completion of RASP, you will be assigned to the 75th Ranger Regiment and are considered an Army Ranger. 75th Ranger Regiment. All soldiers with the 75th Ranger Regiment must have completed RASP to be assigned there. Ranger School is not required to be assigned to the regiment. Ranger School attendance will be highly encouraged though, and is mandatory to become a non-commissioned officer with the 75th. If any of this confused you, leave me a comment below and we will get you squared away. Let's talk more about Ranger School and RASP. Ranger School. The Army Ranger School aims to train soldiers in small unit tactics and leadership skills for close combat and direct fire battles. The school is designed to prepare soldiers for the challenges they may face in future combat operations. Ranger School is considered one of the most difficult training courses in the Army. It consists of 3 phases, each with its own training methodology. Phase 1, Darby Phase. In Darby Phase, students become trained on squad operations and focus on ambush and recon missions, patrol-based operations, and planning before moving on to platoon operations. Phase 2, Mountain Phase. In Mountain Phase, students develop their skills at the platoon level in order to refine and complete their training in Swamp Phase. Phase 3, Swamp Phase. Swamp Phase is the third and final phase of Ranger School and focuses on developing students' combat skills and their ability to operate in swamp and jungle environments. Graduates of Ranger School are expected to demonstrate their intellect, competence, physical presence, and character. They should be able to make decisions in extreme conditions, lead and work as a team member, and perform infantry squad and platoon tactics. For more information about this course, please check out the video on my channel titled Ranger School in Depth. Ranger Assessment and Selection Program. The Ranger Assessment and Selection Program is an 8-week course that tests and trains soldiers to become members of the U.S. Army's 75th Ranger Regiment. RASP is a 2-phase program that tests soldiers' physical and mental strength and trains them in the skills and tactics needed to serve in the 75th Ranger Regiment. Phase 1. In Phase 1, you'll go through physical and psychological tests and be assessed on your strength of character and leadership skills. This phase includes a 12-mile ruck march with a 35-pound dry rucksack in full uniform, land navigation exercises, a water survival assessment, and medical first responder tests. Phase 2. Phase 2 includes skills training. You'll prepare for Ranger duties by learning the skills and techniques for direct action combat, airfield seizure, personal recovery, marksmanship, and explosives. Becoming a Ranger is an honor shared by a select few, calling for mental toughness, physical fitness, moral character, and motivation to endure the challenges you'll face in the field and combat. You'll be a member of one of the 5 battalions on a team designed to complete missions that call for speed, precision, and heavy firepower, including rifles, machine guns, and explosives. 75th Ranger Regiment. The 75th Ranger Regiment is a lethal, agile, and flexible force capable of conducting many complex, joint special operation missions. Today's Ranger Regiment is the Army's premier direct action raid force. Each of the geographically dispersed Ranger battalions is always combat ready, mentally and physically tough, and prepared to fight our country's adversaries. Their capabilities include, but are not limited to, conducting airborne and air assault operations, seizing key terrain such as airfields, destroying strategic facilities, and capturing or killing enemies of the nation. Rangers are capable of conducting squad through regimental-sized operations and are resourced to maintain exceptional proficiency, experience, and readiness. The regiment remains an all-volunteer force with an intensive screening and selection process followed by combat-focused training. The 75th Ranger Regiment is a proud unit and a team of teams serving the nation. If you have completed RASP and/or Ranger School, please comment with any helpful information for soldiers aiming to earn their tab or join the 75th Ranger Regiment. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to stay updated with future content. This is Sergeant First Class Beitz. I'm out.